Welcome back to the Texas music scene. Galveston Island earned its Texas Music Friendly certification in 2024. And honestly, it's no surprise. From historic venues like this one to the Old Quarter Acoustic Cafe just around the corner, this island has become a hub for a vibrant DIY music community. With its deep musical roots and creative energy, Galveston has truly earned this title. Let's dive into what makes the Galveston music scene so special.
Harry Belafonte played here, and I was standing at the top of the aisle. He walked out on the stage facing the back wall because he was talking to his band. And he was talking to him, and then he turned around and he literally stopped dead in his tracks and just looked around and he said, "My God, what a jewel." He said, "The only thing I knew about Galveston is that you had hurricanes." He said, "This place." And I said, "Well, it's pretty special."
This place is beautiful, all aspects of it. The velvet seats, are you kidding? I'm gonna have to assume that all of that is pretty original. And this place is gorgeous. I'm truly in awe.
Well, you are sitting in a box in the Grand 1894 Opera House, the official opera house of Texas, built in 1894, went through the 1900 storm and had the back wall of the stage blown out, the entire roof came off, and survived. And it was reopened in 13 months. It is a stunning place. It started as an old style opera house based on the European opera houses, had nothing to do with opera. Those opera houses were built as live performing spaces, and that's what this was built for.
I think my music and my songwriting tailors more to a theater type environment, and just looking around, you can see the history. It's kind of seeping out in every single aspect of this place. And to know it's 100+ years old, it's really special to be here, and awesome to be part of. There's so much history in Galveston, and it's really nice to be part of it.
I became its first opera house director in 1981. We kept going, and in 1985, we actually got the money to finish the restoration, and that's what you're seeing today. And it's pretty close to probably the way it looked back in the day. Asleep at the Wheel has played here a lot. I adore them, they adore us, you know. And that's part of what happens, that the people who play the music here have that sense of, this is a special place. Willie Nelson plays here. Would you rather see Willie Nelson at the rodeo at NRG Stadium? Would you rather see Willie Nelson at the Grand? That's the legacy that your folks who were here for the Texas music scene can embrace. So being a curator, you've got to be broad enough to say that you're gonna do the superstars and you're gonna do the up-and-comers and you're going to do those who still have a dream. That's where it's born. But it's important that the younger musicians, and I will be biased enough to say those especially who love to do acoustic work, get something from playing this place that they're not gonna get in every place they go.
I mean, Galveston's a great island, you know. I mean, if you're here, you're having a good time. The Old Quarter is legendary, you know, and if you're gonna play in Galveston, this is the room to play.
Joel Moore and his wife, Angela, are keeping the spirit of the Old Quarter Acoustic Cafe alive, preserving its legacy as a cherished live music venue. This space holds a rich history, with past performances from legends like Townes Van Zandt and Hayes Carll, leaving a lasting mark on the island's music culture as it sets new standards.
To me, it's always been a beacon of light here in Galveston County for original music, and Rex started it that way, and we've kept that tradition. We stay out of the business of it. This is all about the show and all about the artists. That's how we run the venue. The first time I walked in here, it was just, you could feel there's something special in this room. Every artist that's come through has said there's something in this room, and you can feel the vibes.
We've always had, you know, great shows here. One of our first shows, we did over 3 hours, and it was electric. It's one of those kind of rooms that, you know, you don't want to stop playing because it's so much fun and people are really into it. And that's a hard room to find these days. It's an acoustic listening room, so they listen.
All music should be in a listening environment. I don't care if it's a heavy metal band or a country band or a folk artist. Music is designed to be listened to, you know, so we push that vibe no matter who's playing it. I think it's a nice change for people to come into a room, especially a room this size, and to see some of the artists, you know, whether they be, you know, top tier artists or just starting out, but you get to sit, you get to absorb that music the way you're supposed to, you know. There's no TVs, there's no, you know, people talking in the background. It's just the artist and you listening. We're privileged enough to host people like John Bowman, who's a great songwriter, Jason E. And they gravitate towards here. They all love coming here because of the intimacy of the room and the way people receive the music. And then we have like legends like Gary P. Nunn playing here and Ray Wiley Hubbard, you know.
Alejandro Escobedo, both of us were just in awe.
To get to see artists like that in such an intimate spot where they can't run and hide or whatever, that was always the thing. It was like when you come see somebody at the Old Quarter, you're definitely gonna get to meet them. Everybody has been so cool with that. You know, Gary P. Nunn came and talked to everybody at the bar. And, you know, I think the Old Quarter is kind of like the pivot point for everybody to we can build this together and like make Galveston Island a music destination where any night of the week you can see great artists playing, whether they be local or touring, just anywhere on the island in any given night. That's my dream.
Locally based touring musician Robert Kuhn, the driving force behind the band Galveston, is not only making his own music, but he's also actively fostering the local scene. His hands-on approach to community building alongside Dave Jacoby, bassist of Galveston and founder of the island's Hotel Lucine, has brought a fresh wave of live music to Galveston. Hotel Lucine regularly hosts performances on its scenic upper deck, offering a perfect backdrop with views of the seawall coastline.
Hotel Lucine is a mid-century modern hotel. We've got 3 bars, 2 restaurants, a pool. I'm the owner, operator, founder. I'm a musician myself, and I do all of the booking here for all of the shows. So music is very important. We book a lot of live music here from local artists, from reggae to rock to singer-songwriter to folk to you name it. Galveston has a really diverse music scene. And then we pull from greater Texas and get nationally touring acts that are based in Texas and some from around the country as well. Our rooftop stands around 300, and we generally do our shows at sunset. So the band will play at the edge of the roof overlooking the beach. We have 180-degree unobstructed views of the water. As an audience member, you see the band playing towards you with pink sunset skies in the background and the ocean behind them, and that's the backdrop. You can't beat it. I play bass in Robert Kuhn's Galveston. Robert is one of the leading voices here in music in Galveston. He is the organizer of La Izquierda Surf Music Festival. That is a 2-day festival in May, and then this year it has branched out to also being a 2-day festival in September.
Galveston's kind of a small town, so I get around, but we started putting on festivals and started La Izquierda Surf Music Festival, and it became a pretty big draw. It was a longboard surf competition and music festival, and it started on a fishing pier, and then kind of grew into different festival grounds, into a larger thing. Eventually it's kind of transformed into this Sandcastle Festival. We have the music series called Save the Locals. They would do every Thursday night in Menards Park. It gets several hundred people come out, and started real small, but every Thursday it's free. Nothing's for sale. It's just blankets and lawn chairs. And everyone comes out and dances and gets down, and just people love it. It's a community. It's a really beautiful thing. It's just coming out of the pandemic when there were no venues could be like indoors, you couldn't be inside. And there's this old historic stage, it's called the Band Shell. It was built back in the 30s, like Frank Sinatra and Duke Ellington. And then they built up a big rec center around it, and they were talking about tearing it down because nobody ever used it. I talked the city into letting us use it to do a weekly summer concert, and it's just been tremendously successful. We got a bunch of people that liked it so much they formed a board and formed a nonprofit around La Izquierda, so then they could keep it going and do that just because it's for the community.